Sound check 1 2. What's up? Sound check 1 2. What's up? Sound check. Sound check. Sound check. Sound check. What's up, guys? Welcome back to day 2 of learning Godot Engine with GD Script. To recap, yesterday we did some pretty cool things from what I enjoyed. So we created the menu here. We created a couple scenes. We created the graphics for the opening with a couple buttons. Put some code behind those buttons to actually do some functionality. Click the new page or new start button. It brings you to class selection. We learned also about the global variables. We learned about making this panel as far as being reusable. So you can see here it has class across all of them, and it dynamically assigns that information. Yo, what's going on, Ahmed? Welcome to the stream. First time chatter. Thank you for following earlier from Basty's stream. I appreciate it. Welcome. My name's Ray at Prophets TV. I appreciate you joining. We also did some stat rolls. This was kind of one of my favorite things to do. Is we were able to generate stats and then allowing the player to pick from 3 columns of stats and select it and then lock those in based upon the class or that they want to play. We also have these ellipses here, which auto fills based upon the class that they pick. It gets carried over, so that's kind of cool. And today, I think I'm going to try to do some more link and maybe get to the main page, the main scene, what that's going to look like during this game. So the main scene is going to kind of look, and I'll show that in a couple minutes visually, how I'm going to do that. Yo, Viper, what's going on, brother? What's up? Welcome. Good evening. And then basically, these are all going to link together, and then we'll start the game. So let's do a quick walkthrough of what was done yesterday's stream. So if I click play, it's going to open up 1080 1920 by 1080 screen, crest of the moon. We still plan on having graphics. I'm going to put some graphics on the side here or fill some of this in so it's not so black. So right now it's just going to be trying to get the core foundation in, which is kind of cool. Yo, Lavonda Rocks, what's going on, man? What's up? What's up? Happy New Year. Bush family in the house represented. Good day. Good day. I'm doing a little bit of coding and development. I'm going to create a fantasy-based game. Going to be text based, think Dungeons and Dragons with some graphical components as much as I can. It's kind of cool. Same to you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Love your music that you're doing as well. So that's very cool. Very cool. Avonda rocks, ladies and gentlemen. Let's give a shout out already to Avonda. You guys don't know her. You're doing something wrong. Get those follows in. Yeah, that's cool. I always look forward to your music. You're very lively. Hell of a DJ. So what we did is we did the new game. So you come in, it's going to be called Crest of the Moon. I already have a backstory written. Again, the graphics going to be on the left and right side of this. I click in new. When you come in the new, notice how now all of the labels are actually predefined. So if you remember the scene, this was just called blank. It was just called class. So now I'm pre-filling it because I'm making these class functional. So if you pick like a fighter, this comes to the stat page, right? If you remember Dungeons and Dragons, you have to roll stats. So you have 3 columns here. The way that I loved playing D&D back in the Redbox days is you were allowed to roll 46. I have my dice right here. Look at this. I got a special handcrafted container that I bought these in. It's very freaking cool. So inside, oh, look at that. I had a couple sets of dice. But anyway, to show you guys, this is actually cherry burl bowl too that was done with resin fill. So here's the 6-sided dice. You guys all remember this? You play Yahtzee, it's the same thing, except this has numbers instead of circles on it. But you're allowed to roll 4 of these, and then the lowest number was dropped. So let's say you roll three sixes and the last one was a one. The one would drop. You'd add the three sixes together to get 18. So that's kind of what I simulated here. These are your columns for the three rolls. And then you get to pick based upon the class you want to do. Fighter is, primarily strength class. You get to pick which one of these columns you want to use. So if I do roll stats, watch the numbers populate. So there's the roll stats. This would obviously suck for a fighter because they're 9, 13, and 9. I'm not sure if I want to allow them to re-roll multiple times or they have to pick one of these three to start with. Obviously, you would fail as a fighter. Maybe this one be all right. But if you roll multiple times, you'll see. I haven't added any modifiers to, which might help. I might add, if you select a fighter, you get +1 strength base right off the bat, which would +1 these values. I'll probably do that. So let's say I pick this one, 16. I can hit select and notice this lock-in value over here. They're all zeros. So I hit select. It takes these values and locks them in. And then that's where we ended. So the next part of the game would be you'd say lock in or finish, and then it would take you to the next part of the game, which is going to be gear distribution. So if you're a fighter, you'll probably start with like a wooden sword or something like that. Everyone's going to start with cloth or rags. You got to work your way up in this game. If you're a mage or a wizard, you'll start with a staff. If you're a cleric, you might start with a mace or something like that. If you're a rogue or a thief, you'll start with a dagger, something cool like that. And I want to kind of map out so I don't get lost where I want to go with this as well. So I'm going to do a little bit of graphical mapping today and see how far we get. We'll jump back into the code too. But that's kind of cool where it's at. So think text-based adventure game. So if we were thinking about the game, what the view is going to look like, think about this is the full screen. The center of the screen, like here, would be it's text-based adventure. So the center of the screen would be where the text is, where you're reading, you're interacting with. On the sides of the panels are going to be your stats. So you'll have maybe a strength bar. If you ever played a game, you have a health bar or a red bar that emulates strength. If you're a mage, you might have an additional bar that's mana. A warrior or a fighter would have an additional bar, maybe stamina. So you'll have the graphics things over here. You might have some inventory stuff to look visual to kind of, so it's not all text. And then maybe some gold coins, or if you collect things in the game, or experience bar or something like that. We'll spice it up a little bit. So it's not just text, but it'd be pretty cool. So that's where we're at. So I kind of want to do a visual of what I want this thing to do. So I'm going to bring up my application that I like to do. I like to use it. It's called Mind Map. This gives you the ability to get your thoughts out of your head onto paper, so you can kind of dig a little bit deeper into a direction and not lose yourself just fumbling around in codes. You can see I did some pre-works here. Like if we take an example, let's take like combat. This is an example I did for how I want combat to work. It's kind of a visual flow of what's the combat system's going to look like. So here you have combat in the core. So if a player starts fighting enemies, these are the components of what's going to happen. So you have a random encounter. So you're not always going to be fighting the same thing all the time. It's going to be random based upon a table that I'm going to make. And the enemies or the random encounter will have kind of the same thing a player would have. They would have hit points. They would have experience. So when you kill the person or interact with the person somehow, you'll gain that level of experience towards your level. It'll have a level. It's going to have a weapon. The weapon's going to have damage, and it's going to have some type of armor. And then you have roles. So when you engage, and you can see the player too is kind of the same match as the random encounter. In combat, you're going to have two types of phases. You're either attacking or you're defending. And then the roles, what's going to happen as you engage is we're going to roll for initiative. Who's going to go first in the encounter? You're going to get the first attack or the first move, where you can flee, where you can attack, defend, or is the encounter going to do that? And then you roll for hit. Can you hit the person based upon the armor? What kind of damage you're going to do? You're going to reduce the health. These are all types of functions that I got to code out. Can you flee? So let's say you get down to 3 hit points, or the enemy gets down to 3 hit points. I'm going to have some type of percentage in there where it will tell the encounter will have the ability to activate a flea if they're X amount below their maximum experience. So let's say they're 100, let's say they're 20 experience points and they get down to, let's say, 5. At that point, there would be a random percentage on that 5 that it would activate a flea, meaning the enemy is going to try to get away from you, just like you would try to get away from someone if you're going to be dying. And then what happens at death? I haven't figured that out yet. I'm not sure how I want to do that in this game, but the game's meant to be fun. The game's meant to be simple too. So this is my first attempt at using Godot engine. So I'm kind of learning a new engine, learning a new language, and getting involved. So that's going to be cool. So here we are. Now I kind of want to do one for that screen. So let's do a visual for the screen. And we'll do, we'll start up a new file. So let's start with a new one. And I kind of want to do the screen layout here of what things can do. So this is a perfect scene. So this is main menu. And then you can see you have new game, save game, load game, and quit. Quit game being the easiest. I think I'm just going to do, if I do a subtopic off of this, exit, close game. That's kind of easy. There's only one option when you come to that. You load it up, you're done. Let's see. Load game is going to be look for save files, or I'm probably only going to make this available only if they've saved the game, right? So check for saved games. And then if there's a saved game, show games to load. Ban this. Kind of like that. Check for save games showed save games to load, and that's cool. And then if it's a new game, this is where they're going to go into the character screens. So we'll come back up here. We'll go like this, new, here. And if it's a new game, they're going to go to the class page, class selection. From the class selection, they're going to go to stats, roll stats. From the roll stats, this is where they're going to go. We haven't made this yet, but it's going to go into gearing or equipment. And then from the equipment side, it will go into the game. Naming, name character, and then it will go into the game. Enter game. Saved game, we'll just do where to save. Let's do a check. Is game in progress? If it is, then where to save? And then save. Timestamp. Cool. That's kind of like what we're going to be doing. Mapping this out. I can do this in different formats too if I wanted to, but it really doesn't matter. I kind of like this option. So this part is done. These main buttons are done. But that's about it. Class section's done. Roll stats is done. So we're kind of at this part on this section here. This is what I want to kind of do tonight. I'm not going to tackle files yet or anything behind this button. I could probably close this out quickly. Maybe I'll start that like right now because the close game is going to be pretty simple. It's just going to shut down. I might do a prompt. What are the odds of someone clicking the game by accident? Yo, what's going on, Ahmed? What application is this? It looks like Coggle, but it's just this is called Xmind. So it's like Coggle. This is a licensed version. Xmind is the name of it. I like using this. I use it at work too, so I'm very familiar with how it functions. You can get pretty involved with this. And this is almost like if you map stuff out, you're used to doing stuff on Kanban boards or agile boards or moving between lanes or, software development or something. I like coming here first so I can get all my thoughts out on the screen. All right, so I want to do. Let's start this. I want to close, and then yeah, I want to figure out how to close game. Like I was saying, do I want to ask? Let's add one more prompt here. A pop up confirmation. I think I've seen that a lot in games. Are you sure to close? Are you sure? Pop up, confirming quit. And then if they do that, then we'll just do close or exit game. Yeah, it's pretty cool. I think they might have a free trial. There's a lot of things out there that do this type of stuff. I'm sure if you look online, you can find the same stuff. You can use Excel if you wanted to. You can use a free version of I think Visio. If you can use Open Office, which has the free version of Visio too, that you can do that stuff with. So there's quite a bit you can do. So let's figure out this part. I want to figure out a pop up confirming a yes or no. And then based upon that, it's either going to go back to the main menu or it's going to go close the actual game down. So I don't know how to do that. So that's what we're going to do next. So the action is going to take place from the main menu scene. So this is where it's going to go. If I go to the node, you can already see you working with nodes. This is something awesome I found yesterday where it actually inserts the function, the base function already. So it's kind of cool. I don't care free or not. If it'll increase my productivity, I'll pay. I had issues with cost. Yeah, this is pretty cool. I don't know. Let's do real quick what the price is. It wasn't too expensive, at least to me. Xmind 8 pricing. Yeah, that's not bad, right? I think updates and stuff like that. If you're a student, it gives you what an additional $5-10 off. Government nonprofits. It's just so you don't have to worry about stuff. Sometimes when I have nothing against open source, but sometimes open source comes with its issues too, right? Could be buggy. It could be, things people aren't updating it properly, something like that. But this is pretty solid. All right, quick game. We got the node already set up over here, so I'm going to go into the script part. Slowly getting used to the navigation. So here's where we want to do the functionality for that. So I'm going to do some comments to kind of explain what I want to do. I always do this. I'm not sure if it's common practice, but within this function, I want to do pop up for a confirmation. Yes, simple yes / no buttons. If yes, exit. If no, and I'll clean this up after I actually write the code, but it tells me I like to do what I want to do first in order and then write the code behind it. If no, return to main scene. Simple. All right, let's start with activation. I don't know how to do a pop-up, but I'm assuming the pop-up now would have to be a separate scene. So let's start with that. So I'm going to go to here. I'm assuming it has to be a second scene. I learned yesterday too that we can do user interface if it's a UI instead of a 2D scene when we're not really doing 2D. Use user interface. So that was kind of cool to kind of understand that. I think it almost works the same way, but so I'm gonna call this exit game prompt, and then from here I'm gonna go back to the 2D so I can see what the hell's going on. I'm going to add a panel, just a regular panel, create. You can see it's already there. I learned the other day that I could actually fill this. Actually, I don't want to do the full. No, okay. All right. Hold up. I'm going to do center. Look at this anchor, man. Look at this anchor. I'm going to do center, and I only want to do a certain size on this. So let's go back to inspector. Let's go to layouts. And I want to make sure that this is synced with the size. So not sure the best way to do that. I think I'm just going to make it manually. This. And we'll put, make this in the center. Let's just recenter this. And then I'll add some buttons. So I'm going to call this, I'm from the Python world. So I'm doing what's called snake notation when I start naming things. So all of my naming besides the top parts, the parent is going to be in lowercase with underscores for separation. So I've been doing these like this. So I'm going to call it panel prompt. Yes, no prompt. Then under there, we're going to add 2 buttons. Create. And then because it's inside of this, which I learned too, that's kind of cool. So now I'm going to go to send, or actually, do I want to do that? Or do I want to do, yeah, we'll do it like this. Because I learned some cool things about vertical and horizontal boxes. It's kind of neat. I wonder if I should do it that way. No, we'll do it this way. Just make it pretty simple. So let's go to the top page here for now. I'm going to add the text. The text is going to be yes. And we'll come down over here to override. Font size is 20. I think this is what, 40? Make it 40. Make it 30. Expand this a little bit. Make a button. Then we'll make this center like that. And move it up a little bit. And then I'm going to make another button over here. I like prefixing these btn underscore yes. And then I'm going to duplicate this. I'm going to bring this btn no. Bring this out to the parent layer. And click on that. This is going to be no. And then I'm going to bring this like this. Bring this like this. Eyeball it myself. Zoom in a little bit. That looks good. Yes or no prompt. Then we'll add a title here or just a label. Add a label. We'll move this to the center. Top center. Are you sure you want to exit the game now? And we'll make this center. I wonder if I put a space here. Are you sure you want to exit the game now? That looks good. Let's go down to overrides again. Fonts. Make this maybe, is this going to be a 20? Make this a 30. That looks cool. Bring it down just a little bit. Are you sure you want to exit the game now? Bring these buttons down a little bit. The two. That very simple. We can always make it pretty after. No worries at all, Ahmed. Ask him any questions you want. Feel free to share, ask questions, share your knowledge too. I'm a newbie, so I'm enjoying this along the way here. I think this might be a little too big now that I look at it. So let's go to, bring this down to maybe 25. Yeah, there we go. All right. So let's make this label. This is going to be LBL underscore question. There's our exit game prompts. Save this, save scene as in my scene folders to keep it nice and neat. And we'll save that. And now, this is going to be something that's interesting. I'm not even sure if I'm doing this right, but so now when they click this button, I want to load that scene, which is this. So I'm going to do get underscore tree dot change scene or change the file. Gonna do that pop up. There's the prompt. And we'll go to that. Okay. So now I need to go to here, back to here. I'm going to do the node thing again. If they click yes, I'm going to come up to nodes. When the button is pressed, I'm going to double click on that. It's going to be connecting from the button. And hold on. Missed a part here. Now I have a script. Got it. I need to make the script. And I think the script goes at the parent level. Yep. Okay. These are node connected. All right. Got it. So let's come up here. We're going to add a script. We'll call this exit buttons. I do want to put it into the scripts folder. Scripts. Open. Create. There we go. So now when I attach this, I can go back to the 2D view, click this, do nodes. When they double click this, coming from that, I can do a connect. I'm going to come back to the 2D version, do the same thing for the no. And now it automatically adds those functions in there through a node. You can see these symbols over here. Node has one connection. It's pretty easier for me to do it that way. So that's kind of cool. All right. So if the button yes is pressed, we're going to exit game. If the button's no is pressed, return back to main scene. Pretty simple. So the main scene, I'm just going to go, what is it? Get underscore tree from memory, change scene to file. We'll go back to main menu. Done. When it exits, this is the part that I don't know. It always does those double quotes. I don't know why. This is the part that I don't know how to exit the actual, close the app down. So here's what we're going to do. I think I learned the other day. Is it Control Shift A? Nope. F1, that's it. F1. F1 is the built-in search. So let's see. Close. Or exit. Exit tree. Start with this because I don't know what it does. Windows. Problem the node is called to leave the scene tree. Exit tree. It's exit tree callback. Void import. Void physics. Process. Is it exit tree? See, I don't know what that. Let's see, scene tree called when the node is to leave the remove child, or calling after remove child, and the script has no children. I want to exit the actual game. So we're gonna come over here. Go for exiting exit game. All right, there it is. Get tree.quit. We'll try that. Get underscore tree. Quit. Just like that. All right. Did we just code this without any issues? I don't know. So let's save file, save. So if this works, we should have the quit button functioning. Quit. Oh. I gotta make this the same. If they do yes, it should close it down. Okay, that works. And if it's quit and if it's no, back to the main scene. All right, cool. One thing I want to do is I want to add I was thinking a pop-up would be another window that would pop up instead of calling the new scene, but that's okay. But if I want to make it like that, I definitely have to make a background here for a panel. So let's add another panel up here. Yeah, it would be another one up here. Here, right click, add channel, panel, another panel. Oh, what's happening? Oh, there it is. Okay. I want to do a fill on this too. And then I think this is that because it's behind the scene. Let's check out the layers. Layout. It's not that. Ordering. This is 0. What is this? This should be. Where's the ordering? Let's make this 1. There we go. And I think that makes everything in it 1. Ordering. Yeah, I think because it's inside it, it makes everything. Yeah, I think that's right. So I'm going to call this panel background. We'll make this up top. And then everything's under there. Cool. So that was pretty easy. Let's move this down a little bit. This down. Cool. Damn. Wow. Save. Let's try this again. From the top. Nothing for here. That's cool. New game takes there. Quick game. Nice and seamless. Are you sure you want to exit the game now? No. Back to here. Very cool. Yeah. All right. Let's get that off the list here. Let's get that off the list. So we did these. We just did this whole part now. That's cool. I wonder if I can turn these things to a different color. I think I can. Or I'll border it. If I border it, showing that I want it, that it's done. Let's try that. We'll change this. Here's the thin. Here's the branch. The border. Here we go. There's no border, so I'm going to add a dotted border maybe like this. And we'll make this to be that it's a done color. Green. Because it already is green, let's change this to maybe blue so we can tell. Is that good enough? No. Nope. Let's make it extra bold. There we go. Now I don't like the dotted line, so we'll come back here. We'll do it like this. There we go. So green equals done. So you're working on the fly here. We're working on the fly. All right, so over here, we did that. I'm going to mark these same things. Border. Go like this, extra bold here and there. That's done. These are done. Green, okay. Of course, this is done. Moving right along. All right, let's do the equipment. Or do we want to do stat mods? I should actually put another roll stats. If I put another one over here, add modifiers. Okay. We want to add the modifiers. So if they pick, yeah, let's do that. It should be pretty easy to do. See if we can figure this out. Let's see if we can figure this out. So the stat modifiers would be on this scene. Let's close this out. Close that out. So this would be the stat modifiers. So based upon the class, and we are carrying forward the class, it'd be +1 for strength. Let's figure this out. And look at my messy repetitive code. I haven't went back through and optimized it yet, but so let's do here. Stat modifiers. So if it's a fighter, equals +1 strength, +1 con. If it's a wizard, equals +1 int, +1 wisdom. Cleric equals +1 wisdom, +1 charisma. Thief equals +1 dex, +1 strength, maybe? No. Maybe I'm only going to do one stat. That makes a little sense. Instead of two. We'll do it just like that. That looks all right, right? Again, I'll clean this up once I code it. So we got that ready. So, okay, so this is going to be actually easy. I think. Actually, this might be. I can add it here. That might be a little easier instead of changing those values because we're returning it. I'm thinking I probably want to add it here at the end. Before we return it, we're going to add a add stat modifier. So let's bring this stuff down there. Okay, so I got that. Right now it's agnostic of the. So I wonder at this point, do they know what the class is? Because I wonder if I can pass in. I wonder if I can pass in that. Like here, can I pass in like I think they did string. I'm not sure if I can do this. Can I pass in class? What's the name of it? Class name. Can I do that? Doesn't seem like it likes it. Is it just str? Where was I specifying that? Scripts. Oops, scripts. Character class. String. Okay. String class. That's a global. Will they have it? They will, because upon entering the page, they're going to know that. So I should be able to use that. So I should be able to pass that in. What does it give me? Class name was not found in the current scope. Do I have to put that at the top? Label. I can take the label, actually. That's known. I wonder if I can do like this. Label, that's what it equals, right? Label, variable, on ready. Yeah, on ready, label.text, label.chosen. Okay, so this would be string is a variable but does not contain a type. This is the function. On Python, I could be able to just do like string and then type that in, but I'm trying to think. I'm just going to call this class, class selected. class. How do I make that affected after function parameter? After 55. Label chosen class is a variable but does not contain a type. Does that mean I have to pass in? I know I have to pass this in, but I'm trying to see, does this, if I pass this in, okay, it's all right. Okay. All right, so it looks like it is working as expected. And this, I can call it anything I want, right? Like if I just want to get it in my head. So if I pass in chosen class like this, I should be able to call this anything I want. Because when it gets passed into this function, it's going to assume this as I want, right? But this is still chosen class was not found in the current scope. I'm going to see here. Hold on. Print chosen class, because there should already be a text sending in. I wonder if I need to convert that to a type string, or is it going to actually accept it? So we'll see. I'm just going to test this out. Let's see. Just this page. Actually, I need to go back one page. So new, we'll do fighter, roll stats, and it's telling me fighter. Okay. So it knows that it's fighter. Okay. Because I'm sending it in though 3 times, I might not need to do. Yeah, I don't. Wow. If I send it in 3 times, I only really need to do it once though. So as long as I don't do it in the loop, I'm trying to think, will it add? So let's try this out. Let's do just to 1. And we're returning. Comes down here, rolls the stats, returns total minimum. Roll stats, chain adapter, strength, constitution 1. And we'll do bar stat mod fighter equals 1. But I mean, it's going to be an if statement. I'm trying to think. Yeah, I think this would be the best place to put it. So if stat mod does it support, like maybe a case statement might be a little easier, but it's kind of the same thing. Lyric if just trying to get the thought out of my head here. So here's the class. This is doing multiple ones because it's calling 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, all of these. I only need to add it once. So wouldn't this be just here? So if chosen class is equal to fighter. That this would be strength. Fighter. Modified. Or modified equals total minus minimum plus stat mod fighter. Print. Can I do it like that? Will that print out like that? This would be returned modified. I don't know if that's going to spit out multiple times or not, or oh, actually I can't do that because that's, I'd have to put it up here. So var modified equals 0. And I could take this out and then I can send that in. All right, let's test out this functionality. I'm not sure if it's going to roll properly. I just wanted to do it one time. So I'm watching the console down here too. New game. I'm going to pick fighter. When I roll stats. Yeah, I don't think it's doing. Oh, it's not rolling now. Oh. Oh, it's capital F. All right. Good debug, quick debug action here. Let's go to new. We'll come back up here. Fighter, roll stats. Okay. Looks like it's rolling. Roll them right. 10. 10. 10. 11. It only added it to the last roll. Okay. No, added it to the second one. Now these are out of order. 11, 11, 11. 9, 9, 11. Okay, that logic's not working properly. Go all the way to the bottom. 19. Oh, okay. Yo, Ferris, what's going on? Welcome. So let's go to here. This logic is not functioning properly. Oh, I'm adding modified to. Okay. Let's go to if the all right. So we're rolling here. It's getting 4. It's minusing the minimum, and then before we're doing the return, we're basically doing the class modifier. Thank you very much for clicking that follow button. I appreciate it. Welcome to the Adventurers. We're doing a text-based with graphical elements D&D type fantasy adventure game. So first time using Godot. So this is my second day. So I'm doing some development work here. You can see I have some screens that are already in play. If I go back to the start, kind of just getting the basics down first. So getting the foundation, then I'll go back and add, the the beauty to it will have graphics and stuff like that. So you have your typical menu. It's called Crest of the Moon. Click New. These would be graphics. I'm trying to think. I was thinking last night I might make these instead of a graphic of a fighter or a thief, but make the actual like an emblem or a crest. Like a fighter would be like a sword and shield. A thief would be a cleric. And a thief would be a dagger. Cleric would be like a mace or something, something glowing. Wizard would be like a staff or something. But when you pick this, you go into your stats, and then everyone was going to be able to pick from 3 columns of stats that's rolled, and then that would be applied to your final stats here in this column once you pick what you want to do. So this is actually a good roll, 18 strength. So I'm going to pick this one. Notice that these fields will be locked in with this value like they are. This is actually a really good fighter. And then I haven't finished this part yet, but I'll do like a lock in or, finish it right there. Lock that in. I want to learn Godot, but I'm too lazy, so I learn G develop. What's G develop? I'm not sure what that is either. That's cool though that you're learning something. That was my timer. I have to take my vitamin and I med. It is Monday. I have this nice organizer because I forget things. When you get old, you forget things, I don't know. I don't know what happens. You just forget things. I got a pretty good memory too, but sometimes you question, did I actually do that or did I not do that? Mm. All right. So, all right. So that's basically what it's going to be. That's where I ended on that part. Now I'm trying to add stat modifiers to it. So here's the stats. If you're a fighter, you're going to get a +1 strength. If you're a wizard, +1 intelligence, +1 wisdom, +1 to dexterity. And I'm trying to add that, where it makes sense is when the stat roll is being done. All right, so this is one modified. Return if chosen class equals fighter, which is in there because I'm getting the output. Modified equals, we're doing modified is 0 is coming in. This is going to be the total. I don't know if I need to do these or not. I'm gonna try to do this. Do this first, and then add the stat modifier. Then I wonder, I'm not sure how to do concatenation. Can I just do like this? Or do I have to do like this to get that working? Maybe it's just this. This would be easy if it is. What the hell? I'm 2 days into Godot, so I mean, so far I think it's once you get, and I only know like half of a percent of what this can do. But watching other people that I watch every day, you doing the development and they're kind of making different types of games, is pretty cool. I think it's fast, easy to develop in. I'm very used to Python, so this I guess GD script, which is the native language to Godot, is like 80%. I heard close to Python. So if you know Python, it's kind of an easy language to transition over syntax wise. Then you just gotta know, what's available through the API, the different functions and stuff. But I like it. I like it. +1 strength. Let's put these up here. +1 int. +1 wisdom. +1 dex. Rid of this. All right. Let's figure out. Not sure if this is how this is done. So let's see. First of all, if that's how I concatenate text. Here, here, here. It is? Okay. 13. So total minus min plus stat mod. So let's do, so there's a space here. I'm going to do here, total base, and then that. I don't need the minimum. Minimum is always going to be like a 1, I think, potentially. Hear what you think about G. I don't even know what G-develop is, my friend. What is it? Stat modifier plus stat. I want to make sure that it's, oh, modified is going to be the total. Okay. Total minus minimum. Well, let's actually just put this in here like this. I just want to make sure that the math is working properly. So I'm going to put this in there like that, and I'll be able to tell plus that. I don't know if you heard me or not. I'm not sure. I don't know what G develop is. Okay, so that's right then. 15. Okay, I think that math is right. Oh my God, let's see. So 17, 13, 14 minus 2 would be 12 plus 1, 13. Okay, I think that's right. So 9, 17, 13. I don't see it over here though. That's what. Where is it populating? All right, 14, 15. Oh, okay, 14, 15, 16, because it's doing the top row for, yep, 14, 15, 16. And then 16, then it should be 16, 15, 8, 8. Okay, so it is doing it right. Got it. Got it. I had to do a little bit of mathematical calculations to figure out if my math is even working right. So this works. Okay, so that's that. Then I'm kind of do the same thing for the other classes. If chosen class is equal to wizard modify, just like this, wizard. Cleric. So why these are off, that's bad. If chosen class is equal to thief, thief. All right, so that should be done. So now I kind of want to put like some type of indicator. We can do that after. I want to give some indicator to the person that they're getting a +1. Or maybe I'll put that on the actual page here when they're going back to the class page. All right, so wow, that was kind of cool. All right, let's go back to here. We're gonna do new. We're gonna go to, we'll do wizard, which would be the intelligence. So we should see at least +1s on the intelligence side here. 16, 17. Okay. I want to see if I can see 19. There it is. So it's working. Working. That's awesome. All right, let's remove our. I still have the print stuff in here. So let's go back to here. Where am I printing out? Print class. Get rid of that debug. Modified. Oh, put that next to that. Okay. All right, so that covers that. So let's go back to our mind map. We can now say we did stat modifiers. Check. Change this to a green. Change this to extra bold. And we've done that. Everything that's bolded in green is what we've done so far. So now we're on to equipment. Maybe name the class for. Maybe I want to do name the person first. And then equipment. How do normal games work? I think you get equipment last, right? We'll do it like that. Be a separate scene. Stat modifiers kind of separate. Maybe I'll do it like this. Yeah, we'll do it like that. All right. Now we need a name character scene. It would be cool if I put like some. Eventually, I can put like some detection or dictionary lookup so people can't, just type something stupid. Not that I mean it's going to be on their side anyway, local, but it'd be kind of cool just to do it. All right, let's do a character name scene. I'm going to kind of do the same thing that I did with the pop up, or I could combine it. I could combine it into so we're not in too many scenes. What I mean by that is I can go to where they do their stats. You have their class. I could put down here. No, we'll keep it separate. Just to be cool. Just to be cool about stuff. I also need to add a button here too. So let's add that button while we're here. That button will be add child node button. It will be lock in value. Lock in stats. Center. We'll come down here to override fonts. Here, 20. What are these? I think these are 30. 30. I could have copied it. 30. Do it like this. Lock in stats. This a little bigger. All right. Actually, let's make it the same size as this one. Like that. And like that. Eventually, I'm going to put these in. So let's label this here. BTN lock stats. Lock. I do want to put logic around this. If they lock in the stats, let's see if we can actually do this. Just for the hell of it, this would be a cool thing. If I lock in the stats, I want to disable this button. So I want to toggle this off somehow, and these. So let's see if we can do that. So I'm going to come over here. I'm going to go to node. I'm going to do if this is pressed. And oh, yep. Let's see if it's the right one. Coming from lock and stats. There we go. So if this is this, I want to disable the roll stats, disable the roll stats, and select buttons. How do we disable a control? So let's take a look at this control. Roll stats. There should be a way to toggle. We don't want to hide it. Well, do I want to hide it? Well, no, let's just see if where we can't click. All right, here we go. Toggle mode. Toggle mode. If true, the button is in toggle mode, makes the button flip states between. No, I don't want, I think I don't want it. Action, button release, button. Disabled. Okay, here we go. Disabled. Okay, so we should be able to just go into the button. Roll stat. No. Roll stats. So I think it's roll stats. I wonder if I can just do as simple as this. Is it as simple as this? Can I just do btn roll stats dot disable? Not declared. Do I have to do on? Nope. btn roll stats. btn roll stats. Identify with you not declared in the current scope. Do I have to get tree dot I'm not changing the scene. Call group call flags. So let's look this up. F1 disable a button. Set is button disabled. Set button disabled. Set button disabled. Int button int idx, which is an int. Disable set calls. Set custom. I think it's this one. Set button disabled. Column disabled true. Button idx. How do I find the button idx? Actually, no, let's do it like, I wonder if I can do it like I did before. Not sure if that's going to screw something up. Not sure if that's going to screw something up, but let's try it just for science. I wonder if I go over here and I do like the label, if I right click and I do a unique name as well, then I go to the code and then I drag this up top. I can go to drag, control to let go. Now I should be able to grab this. Oh, yeah. Let's see. See if this will actually work. So I signed it by unique name variable, so I should be able to use that now. So if I do fighter, I'm going to roll stats. You can see it's adding +1 modifier now to the strength column. And then if I lock in, let's see if we can get an 18. We'll get a 19. So if I hit lock in, I'm not sure what disabled means, but I'm assuming that this might gray out where I can't click it anymore, or it's going to disappear. I think it's probably going to just gray out. Lock in stats. Actually, I got to select. Moves the values over. Lock in stats. Oh! All right. Invalid call. Non-existent function disable in button, in base button. Well, I thought that was actually, I come back over to the properties. Oh, did I do it the wrong page?